Students, first of all, welcome all of you to the classes in the paper Financial Management. First of all, we can say that Ezra Solomon, he is considered to be the father of financial management. The author or the father of financial management is considered to be Ezra Solomon. Firstly, we will find different types of finance. Finance can be mainly categorized into two. First one is public finance. Public finance means the financial management or finance of government institutions, state governments, local bodies, central government, etc. That is, if we manage the financial activities of government institutions or state government or central government or other like local self-government bodies just like panchayat, municipality, etc., it is termed as public finance. And the second category of finance is private finance. Private finance includes personal finance, non-profit entity finance, business finance, etc. That is the financial affairs of an individual or a non-profit social organizations or the financial aspects of a business. These are covered as private finance. And the business finance includes, we know there are different types of organizations, business organizations. So business finance includes the finance of sole proprietorship, partnership firms, corporate entities, etc. Then next, there are different approaches to finance. There are two approaches to finance. Traditional approach. First one is traditional approach. It is the approach that was prevailing in 1920s to 1930s. It is the old approach. Actually, finance includes only a raising of funds. Raising means collection. For a business enterprise, we have to collect funds. For a financial activity, we have to collect fund and utilize the fund. And in case of traditional approach, finance include or the functions of a financial manager includes only raising of funds, collecting fund from the public or from financial institutions, etc. This is the traditional approach. So in case of traditional approach, the financial manager has only one duty, that is collecting funds for the purpose of the project. And the second approach is modern approach. As per modern approach, finance includes both raising funds and effective utilization of funds. That is, the activities or the function or scope of financial manager includes both collection of funds, raising of funds, and the effective utilization of these funds. So the functions includes estimating capital requirements, deciding the capital structure, deciding the sources of capital, investing the collected funds, management of cash, controlling surplus funds, etc. All these are coming under the purview of financial management in case of modern approach. That is, in case of modern approach, the financial manager has to perform these functions. He has to estimate the total capital requirement of his venture or business. Secondly, he has to decide the capital structure. Capital structure is the proportion between debt and equity capital. How much percentage should be the debt to capital? What is the proportion of equity capital? All these are decided as a part of capital structure decision. He has to decide the sources of capital, that is whether it is to be collected through equity share, preference share, debenture, bond, etc. Then he has to decide the investment avenues, in which asset the amount collected should be invested. Then cash management, managing the cash, the fund, the inflow of cash, outflow of cash. These are coming under the modern approach. Then controlling or managing the surplus cash. All these are coming under the purview of financial management in case of modern approach to finance. So there are only two approaches to finance, that is traditional approach and modern approach. Then let us go through some meaning to the term financial management. Firstly, financial management involves obtaining and utilization of funds necessary for efficient operations. So, financial management means obtaining of funds and utilization of funds necessary for efficient operations. ഒരു ഫേമിൻ്റെ എഫിഷ്യൻ്റ് ആയ ഓപ്പറേഷന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ടുള്ള ഫണ്ട് ഒപ്റ്റെയിൻ ചെയ്യുക, കളക്ട് ചെയ്യുക, അത് യൂട്ടിലൈസ് ചെയ്യുക. ഇതാണ് ഫിനാൻഷ്യൽ മാനേജ്മെൻറ്റ് എന്നാണ് സിംപ്ലി ഒരു മീനിങ് കൊടുക്കാൻ പറ്റുക. ദെൻ അനദർ മീനിങ്, ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് എ മാനേജ്മെൻറ്റ് ആക്ടിവിറ്റി കൺസേൺഡ് വിത്ത് planning and controlling of firms' financial resources. As per this meaning, financial management is a management activity, and in this management activity, the financial manager has to plan and control the firm's financial resources. So, as per this meaning, planning and controlling of financial resources is the function or is the scope of financial management. Then the financial management functions are performed by a person called financial manager. So the person performing all these financial management activities are called financial manager, and in USA these persons are called treasurer and controller. There are two terms, treasurer and controller. Actually, treasurer is concerned with the collection of funds and controller is concerned with the utilization of funds. That is, in US, two persons are responsible for performing financial management functions with the two designations. One is treasurer and the second person is controller. Treasurer will be entrusted with the activity of collection of funds, and controller will be entrusted with the activity of utilization of funds. Then let us go through the scope or contents of financial management. What are the contents? What are the activities involved or included in the financial management? First one is estimating financial requirements. A financial manager has to estimate the total financial requirement of his firm. And secondly, he has to decide the capital structure. Capital structure, we know, it is the proportion between debt and equity capital. How much percentage is debt capital and how much percentage is equity capital. The relation between, the proportion between these two are termed as capital structure, and the activities or scope of financial management includes deciding this structure, that is deciding the capital structure. Then next activity or scope includes selection of the sources from which source we can collect the capital. There are different sources of capital: equity share capital, preference share capital, debentures, then bonds, public deposits, then financial institutions or other sources. All these sources can be tapped. A financial manager has to decide what are the sources to be tapped for collecting fund for his firm. Then next one is selecting the pattern of investment. There are two types of assets in which we can invest, that is current assets or short-term assets and non-current assets or long-term assets. We can invest in different types of current assets and different kinds of non-current assets. There are different business avenues, investment avenues, and the financial manager has to decide in which asset to be invested. That is, he has to decide the pattern of investment. Then another activity is working capital management. The short-term fund for his business is termed as working capital, and he has to decide the working capital pattern. Then next one is financial control. He has to control all the financial activities of the firm. Then proper utilization of surplus. Surplus means profit. He has to effectively utilize the profit made by the firm. Functions of financial management. A financial manager has to perform different functions, and his functions start with the financial planning. We know all the management activities are starting with the plans. Likewise, a financial management starts with the financial planning. He has to decide in advance different areas, just like sources, capital structure, investment avenues. All these are to be decided in advance by the financial management. Another function is raising of funds. Raising funds means collection of funds. Different funds necessary for the business, that is different sources of capital, are to be tapped, and funds are to be collected by the financial management. Then utilization of funds. The funds collected by the firm is to be effectively utilized by the financial management. Next one is preparation of financial statements. It is the responsibility or function of a financial manager that he has to ensure that financial statements are prepared by the firm in time. Then allocation of net profits or profit planning. The profit made by the firm is to be effectively allocated. That is, whether it is to be given as dividend or whether it is to be used in business as retained earnings. All these are the functions of a financial manager. Then evaluation of financial performance of the firm. The financial performance of the firm is to be effectively evaluated, is to be analyzed by the financial management. These are the functions. Okay, we will meet with the next video in our next class. Okay, thank you very much.